Welcome to Sweet Talk SLP. I'm Krystle and I'm a pediatric speech language pathologist. Today will be a review video, but before we get started, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you to subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. Let's get started. For today's video, I'll be reviewing a speech therapy specific item. I will be reviewing the Super Duper ask and answer question cards. I have the Spanish ones here in front of me now, but I have the English ones as well. I have all 5 English and all 5 Spanish, but the English ones or a couple of them are in my car, and these I have stored in my little storage closet in this room, so I just have these out for right now. So I'm going to go over these cards in general, what they are, and review them for you. These products can be purchased through superduperink.com. So what they are flashcards in a tin. And so there's a set of 5. You can buy each tin individually, or you can buy the set of 5 in either English or Spanish. And so it tells you how many cards are included, 56, including a couple of like cards that tell you what all the questions are. Let's see if I can find those. And kind of like how to use them. Cheat sheets in here. Is it only one of those? No, I feel like there's another one here. This one has all the questions and the answers. And so each question has a card to ask you the question, such as ¿Por qué duermes? Or why do you sleep? These are the why cards. And then there is a card that goes along with it with the answer. And this one has ¿Por qué estás cansado o cansada? Or because you are tired. And so all of the questions have an answer portion to them. And so of course there's one for what, where, when, why, and how, I think is the other one. Let's get into the review. As a reminder, my reviews go over 5 different parameters. They are storage, price, child response, functionality, and overall. So let's get to storage. 5 out of 5. It's a small little tin. And I mean, granted, if you have all 5, you'll have a stack about this big, but I feel like they're very easy to put in a bag when you need to use them. So that's an easy 5 out of 5. Price. Each individual little tin retails for $13.95 in both English and in Spanish, or you can buy the set of all 5 English or all 5 Spanish for $69.75. I'm really certain that I did not spend that much when I purchased these cards. I purchased my cards at least 12 years ago, 10 to 12 years ago. So I imagine that they were under $10 a tin, and you know, the set was probably around the $50 mark, if I could guess of how much I spent. With that said, my ranking for the price of these cards as they stand currently, the $13.95 and the $69.75, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. These are pricey cards. Now, they are good quality, the little tin, the container they come in. I have seen some that with use, they get really thick, and then sometimes they're hard to put back into the tin. And I'm just going through one right now, and I could see that it has like an easy fold. So they're flashcards. They're not going to, you know, stay perfect forever. And especially if you give them, you know, to some little hands, you just never know what's going to happen. So they're durable for what they are. They look nice, they store well and all that, but the price point, I feel like it's a little steep. But I know that these products are expensive to make, but still 3 out of 5. Child response, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. They're flashcards. Most of my kids hate them because they're flashcards. I've had a few kids who are almost excited, like, oh, questions, and then, you know, whatever. And so they're motivated by them. But as a whole, they're flashcards, and, you know, kids and flashcards. Functionality as how these cards lend to speech therapy and how they work. I'm going to give them a 4 out of 5. I feel like they do what you need them to do. If you need some questions to ask, you're working on answering WH questions, it has, you know, a nice image for you to use. If kids are not reading, then they don't have the words to help them out either. You can give them the second picture to kind of help them answer the questions. By no means do I use this for a whole certification period for my kids. For example, if we're working on answering why questions, a kid might have a certification period with me for 6 months. I'm not going to use these cards the entire 6 months. I'm going to use these towards the beginning of the certification period just to get them used to answering questions, to have that visual picture. But later, I want them to be able to answer questions without a visual stimuli, or without the same one every single time. I want it to be varied. For kids that really struggle, then maybe I'm going to bring them out and show them pretty frequently so they get used to it, and for a lack of better words, kind of memorize, the pictures and the answers and the questions. But for 99% of my kids, I don't do that at all. I do it once or twice just to kind of help them get the flow of it, and then we move on and we move into different why questions, not all the why questions that are here, not all the where questions that are here. Or maybe I have a where question card, but I'm also asking a what question using the card. So I like to vary them just depending on what I have on hand. So they work well, but you can't use them always. Like it can't be a tool that you use with the same kid over and over again. It's just not functional. Overall, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I feel like as clinicians, we're moving away from using such structured materials. It's good to start there, right, for some of our kids, but we definitely navigate to more naturalistic play and asking questions and things like that. I don't work in the schools. I work in home health. And so I really have to be careful the way I'm working with things, because I need things to translate to every day, right? I need them to be able to answer questions in their home whenever they're asked, in emergency situations, when something bad happens at school. So I can't rely on these cards because I need them to learn how to do it in other ways. So they're a great starting point. They might be good for starting clinicians if you have a hard time coming up with, ways to structure your therapy, day. I mean, I bought these when I first started 10 to 12 years ago. So then they were really useful for me. Now with my years of experience, I do use them, just not as frequently. I'm glad that I have them. I'm glad that I bought them years ago and that they weren't as expensive as they are now. But they're an okay material. They're an okay resource. Do you have any or all of these little question tins from Super Duper? If so, do you love them? Do you use them all the time? Or are you kind of in the same boat that I am, that you may use them a little bit, but then, don't use them at all? I'd love to know. That's all I have for now. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope that you'll consider subscribing, like this video, share it with your friends, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified of my weekly uploads. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one.